Hi everyone, Jesse here with eTrailer. Today we'll be taking a look at and I'll show you how to install the Stealth Hitch hidden hitch receiver on our 2019 Audi Q3. If you own an Audi, you probably care about how it looks, but that doesn't mean you can't take this car out for your adventures. So with this receiver added on, not only do you have the ability to add on accessories such as a bike rack or a cargo carrier, but with a simple turn of a knob, you can also completely remove the receiver and take it back to that nice clean factory look. When you are ready to go on your adventure, hooking your receiver up is very simple. You simply line it up with the hole, get it pushed up into place, and push it up until it clicks, and then it does lock. So included you have a key. You'll just have to push in on the button there, lock it up, and that way it's nice and secure. Also, once you lock it up, you know that it's not going to go anywhere, so you're ready to hook up your accessory. And while we're looking at it, I already talked about how hidden everything is, and this is our standard 2" by 2" receiver opening, so most of your accessories will fit right in there. Also has a standard 5/8" pinhole. The pin and clip are not included with the hitch, however, we have many options available here at eTrailer. Also, any accessory that you add on will most likely come with one included. I'll take a quick measurement for our ground clearance. From the ground to the top of the inside of the collar right there is 15 inches. And then usually we would measure from the center of our pinhole here to the edge of our fascia, but since this sticks out further, I don't see you having any issues with any folding accessories. They should work right out of the box. For our weight capacity, our maximum tongue weight will be 600 pounds. And that's the amount of weight that you can have pushing down on the receiver. This kit itself is not rated to tow. However, Stealth Hitch offers a separate kit that includes the receiver and also a ball mount. And it also includes all of the wiring that you'll need to get your vehicle safe and legal and ready to tow. If you have any questions or concerns about the Stealth Hitch or anything else we offer here at eTrailer, feel free to reach out to us. We'd be happy to get you pointed in the right direction. As for the installation with this hitch, it's not one of the easier hitches to do. You do have to remove the rear fascia in order to get it nice and hidden behind that fascia. So if it's not something that you're looking to do yourself, feel free to check out our dealer locator. You can find someone local to you that would be happy to help you get this set up. If you are looking to see how this gets installed, then follow along and I'll walk you through it. We'll begin our installation by removing our tail light. So there's a plastic cover here that's hiding 2 screws. If you kind of push in on that part, it'll pop these clips off, and then you can pull the rest of it out. Just try to pull it as straight as possible so you don't break those tabs off. And set that aside. Then we have 2 T25 Torx screws. Remove those. I can get that later. And now we can pop our tail light out. It may take a little bit of working to get it loose. Sometimes you can pry on this plastic here, but you'll want to keep the tail light straight. So I'm kind of pushing against it to get these 2 pins to release. So once you finally get those removed, you can see the 2 pins that I was fighting. They just kind of lock into that rubber. And we can turn our tail light around. We'll unplug it by pushing in on the pin here. And we'll also have to unloop it from that, and we can set our tail light aside. We'll repeat that process on the other side with the driver's side tail light. And really anything that we do on one side, we will repeat on the other. Now in our cargo area, we'll lift our floor panel up, get it to lock up out of our way, and we need to pop this sill up because there's a couple bolts holding our fascia in. So just try to get your hands and get a good grip and firmly pull up. And then you'll have to work it around the rubber here. You can see it kind of has a lip. Get that popped up and set aside. So now we have some rubber grommets to remove. There's going to be 4 in total, 1 on each side up here on our carpeted area. Just get a flathead screwdriver, pop it out. And then there's two in the middle. These ones are a little easier to take out. They're just softer. Just work your way down the line, get them all removed. And these are all hiding 10mm nuts. So you'll need an extension and a 10mm socket. And you won't be able to see what you're putting your socket onto, so just try to line it up and break them all loose and get them taken out. Now before I take that nut all the way off, I am going to use a magnet just because I don't want to drop the nut inside, and the magnet will be able to kind of hold on to it while I take it off. I'll carefully take that nut out of there, and we'll just repeat that same process with the other three. Inside our wheel well here, we have some T15 torque screws to remove. And just work your way up and make sure you get them all removed. While we're here, we're going to pull this fender liner or fender cover off. It's just held in by some clips. You just have to firmly pull it off. We just need to pull this off far enough so we can access this T20 torque screw and get that removed. Helps to have a 90-degree bit driver like this to get into this tight spot. Now on the underside of our vehicle, we have a series of some more T20 screws to remove. So on the bottom of our wheel well liner here is where we'll start. And then I'll just work my way over to the other side of the car. That's a good idea to have a partner to help you remove the fascia. I have my friend Kevin here. We're both just going to work from the outside. Start breaking some clips loose. It gets kind of tricky when you get towards the tail lights here. These tabs are a little stronger than the rest. But you can kind of push down on them to release them. And while you're pushing down, just pull out on it. And once you get it pulled out a bit, you'll have two plugs to unplug here. So just push in on that pin and pull it out. Ours is a bit corroded, so it took two hands. And this one, the pin is on the bottom side. All right, and this one actually had a locking tab. There's a red clip that you'll have to push down, and then you can release the pin. But with that done, we can set our fascia aside. Now we need to remove our bumper beam. There's going to be 4 13mm bolts on both sides. So we'll start removing those. And there's a little tab to hold it in place so you can take off all the bolts without worrying about it falling off. And we'll just lift up on it, pull it out, and set it aside. So now we're ready to lift our hitch into place. Make sure that you have a set of hardware with a bolt, split washer, and a washer, and one of these plates. We'll lift it up into place here. Get your holes to line up. Get your hardware through the plate like that. And then we'll thread one on both sides. That's going to hold it up for us so we can get the rest of the hardware installed. Once you have all the hardware hand tightened, we can go back through that same 13mm socket and tighten it all down. We'll take our torque wrench and torque everything down to the specifications in the instructions. We'll install our latch block. The one thing you want to make sure of is the handle is on the passenger side. And then we're also going to pass the bolts through that side. Let's get both of your bolts slid through. Then we can thread on our nuts and tighten it all down with a 15/16 inch socket and wrench. Now we'll take a torque wrench and torque our latch block down. All that's left is to reinstall our fascia and everything else. It's really just the opposite of how we removed it. Then we can unlock our Stealth Hitch and slide our receiver into place. And then we're ready to put our accessories in there. So that's going to do it for our look at and installation of the Stealth Hitch custom fit trailer hitch on our 2019 Audi Q3.